Okay, so welcome everybody in this first webinar, and this first of its kind. It's a series of webinars that Safozi is starting to present. It's going to be each Wednesday at 4 to 5 p.m. local time. We are starting with the first one, Path to Simplified Cloud Infrastructure Management, Automation, and Cost Efficiency. We have now our one of our dearest partner here, our dearest friend, which is Tatiana Fedorenchuk, is VP of Marketing in Jelastic. So. And myself presenting, it's Ziad Ouled Ali. I'm founder and CEO, general manager of Safozi, which is a hosting, which is mainly a cloud solution, cloud infrastructure provider based in Tunisia. And yeah, so actually a few words about Safozi. So we started the company in 2012. First services has been launched in 2015, in end of April 2015. We started with infrastructure as a service with this simple service. We have customers from 20 countries, and we have about more than customers. So what we deliver mainly is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and normal or convention hosting, shared hosting, and domain names. Mainly clients from Tunisia and from all over the world, and we deliver them out of 10 plus data centers. Today, we will with Tatiana, we will speak about the service we provide, with the help and with the support and with the technology and the intelligence of Jelastic. Actually, the first contact with Jelastic came in 2015. We launched the Jelastic and platform as a service in 2016. The idea was to provide the region, Tunisia and the region, with DevOps tools, with cloud tools, and we that with Jelastic. Why Jelastic? Because simply it gave us the tool that simplifies such intent and such manner. Jelastic is a Docker-based, container-based platform as a service that is actually that outsource easily all the system administration, let's say, tasks. You can, as a software as a service publisher, web agencies, or simple software developer. You can use it for DevOps objects. It's ease actually the interaction, the code writing, and the software development in general. So you have basically one wizard where you can get the most of your infrastructure in just one place. It also automates your environment instances, and yeah. So for us, actually, the idea was just to provide automated hosting solutions, but we discovered actually a lot more than that. And I think I give the word to Tatiana, and she will be in the next moment, in the next hour, explain with details and show with details what we can do with Jelastic and what you can have in our platform for developer service. Yeah. An additional point, so we will have a presentation, and then if you have a question, feel free to raise hand or ask question. And yeah, so I give the word to Tatiana So the stage is yours, Tatiana.
Thank you. Thank you, Zayed. Thank you, everyone, for joining this webinar. Yeah, I'm working in Jelastic company, a cloud company already for almost 9 years, and I started as a technical writer and then moved to marketing direction. And I can say that one of the main reasons why I decided to move in marketing direction was the need and also the wish of myself to be more closer to the customers and to the clients, to figure out what kind of pain points they have and you have, and in what way our product, our platform can help with that, and even influence in some way development of the platform in order to satisfy the clients. So while working with customers, I got some highlights from them. What are the main pain points they're facing nowadays? I can say that one of them is the complexity of infrastructure management, because especially if we are talking about traditional hosting, some companies, they need even a dedicated people or a dedicated team inside the company in order to manage the whole infrastructure. So this is a huge investment, and investment of budget and also investment of the time. In addition to that, the second problem, I would say, this is wasting developers' time and potential. Because every company wants to focus on its own product and on its own project, and wants to focus their developers on that. But this is not going to happen if the developer is overloaded with some routine tasks, or overloaded with necessity to manage the servers, create environments, or, for example, handle CI/CD processes and do the stuff like that. So this is also a problem like number 2 for many companies who are coming to us. And the last but not the least problem is overpaying for unused resources and cost efficiency of hosting in general. So many companies, they are overpaying, and at the same time they are trying to figure out how to cut those hosting costs, how to monitor the resource consumption correctly. And this is also a huge time investment because you need to track all the details around resource consumption and tune the settings, all the settings that you have, in order to not to over-allocate resources, but at the same time not to face some downtimes because of the resource shortage. So all these troubles, all these problems, they can be already fixed and they can be overcome with the help of different technologies that are already provided at the market. And many companies, they already realize that. And we can see from the statistics that lots of companies, they keep moving from just usual traditional hosting to cloud hosting, choosing some public cloud or even multi-cloud if it's required for them. And as well, we can see a big traction around container technology. Many people and many customers, they are deciding to move to containers, from usual VMs to containerized solutions, because containers can provide some lightweightness and portability. So we can say that lots of tools are available, but at the same time, the internet life is super fast, and in order to adopt all the needed technologies in time, some companies, they cannot just feel that, and they cannot find out how to make it in time. This is difficult to keep an eye on the technology development and at the same time work on its own project. So here is the point where you need to decide whether you're going to invest time and budget in implementing all these technologies, tracking all these technologies that are appearing at the market, and tuning them for your specific project, or you're going to find a proven provider, a proven partner who is going to do that for you, because there are some systems, in this case we are talking about Jelastic platform, that can help you adopt the right technologies out of box. Because we understand that companies that you need some kind of armor for your project, and you don't want to waste time on doing those armor for yourself. So we make this power-up system for you, and we provide platform as a service, but it contains different directions. It can be a WordPress as a service if you are interested in this direction, or you can go and take some container solutions like container as a service platform or Kubernetes as a service. Also, you can decide and go and get some database as a service, and you won't need to waste time on doing that by yourself and on implementing that by yourself. So this is the case where Jelastic can help you, because basically we are opening the door to anything as a service. Available out of box from scratch, in order to speed up development, in order to reduce the cost and complexity of infrastructure management, and do this stuff for clients. And if we are talking about the core clients that we are working with, there are different industries we are working with, but I would highlight, for example, software and web developers. They take like major part of clients that we are working with, because I think it's one of the reasons is that they are tech guys and they understand the value of our product, because they understand how much time they will need to configure something by themselves, how much effort and maybe some kind of expertise they will require. So they understand that they will need to hire some extra people to cover some tasks. And that's why they really value the product that we offer out of box for them. Also, we can talk about some digital agencies, because we are partnering with lots of them as well. And the idea is that digital agencies, they are looking for platform for some solution that will ease and simplify cloud management for them. Cloud management of different projects, not just like their own internal one, but of each project of their customers and their end clients. So this kind of platform, they provide them like single panel where they can tune the projects, they can isolate them from each other, they can share these projects across the team with different levels, and they get the needed tools to build those projects and to help their customers and users to go digital. Also, I can highlight, for example, some e-commerce and retail projects, because they are looking for high availability and scalability, and this is the case that we are providing as well. And later I'm going to talk about in more details. Of course, there are different other industries, so it's like financial organizations or some media or educational, especially right now when many projects, they went online due to the lockdowns and all these troubles. For example, we got a wave of educational organizations who were looking for some online tools. So again, here the platform can help for these kind of directions as well. And today we are going to start with some points how the platform can help to simplify provisioning, deployment, and management of applications. Our platform, Jelastic platform, it is cloud-based. We are using containers from the very beginning. From the very beginning of creation of Jelastic, and it's already like for 10 years. Even before Docker containers were created, we already run our platform on top of containers, virtuoso containers in our case. So we have a good expertise in this direction, and we are providing efficient infrastructure tuning for that. And in case of Jelastic, we provide different types of containers. First of all, this is certified managed containers. The idea is that Jelastic team builds the containers and manages the updates, provides the tuning of those containers for scaling stuff and for different options like that. And they are available out of box from the wizard panel of Jelastic. And also we support custom Docker. So in case you're working with some custom Dockers and you have your repository, this can be public repository or this can be private repository, you can run both of them within Jelastic platform. We are going to tune, the platform is going to tune this container underneath in order to make it more scalable and more efficient. But in general, this will be fully custom Docker container that you are running on top of our platform. And all these containers, like they can be of different type because we support different languages like Java, PHP, Ruby, Node.js, Golang, Python, or whatever. And all this stuff, it can be managed and can be deployed with different applications. So we support cloud-native applications and traditional applications. And the deployment is going to be with zero code change. Because as I mentioned, we can manage this deployment through different channels. This can be like using archives or URLs, and this can be also deployment through the Git or SVN or different plugins or through the hub registry, Docker hub registry. And everything is done through the intuitive UI where you can just click the buttons, you provide the needed resource, and it will be automatically deployed. In case when we talk about traditional applications, we also can like migrate them from traditional hosting on VMs to Jelastic. Because in our case, underneath, we are using system containers. I will explain in a few words. So basically, Docker container is application container, more lightweight version. And we also, in addition to Docker containers, we support system containers instead of virtual machines. System container, by its nature and by its architecture, is very close to virtual machine. And this helps to migrate traditional applications to Jelastic without code changes, because basically you can migrate the application in the same way and without changing the application itself to system container. The difference will be that each system container does not contain guest OS inside. And this is a great benefit for resource consumption, because in this case, you're not going to be charged for those resources that are required for guest OS, because it's not going to be inside each system container. So this is like an option for you if you require the migration services. And all this stuff is managed through the different channels. First of all, this is user interface, and we can go to Safozi dashboard of Jelastic. So basically, this is like black panel for developers where they can work and they can create different environments here. As you saw within the presentation, you can choose different languages, and within this tab you can choose different application servers that are already pre-configured. This is going to be managed certified containers with different versions. Also, you can scale them. You see that while adding two application servers, we got automatically a load balancer. You can have more, and you can also choose whether you want to run them as stateless containers or stateful containers. And you can also set up vertical scaling limits. A bit later we will talk about that in more details, but generally you can set up the maximum limit you want your container to consume resources up to, and the system will automatically provide these resources within these limits, within this cap. So also there are some tabs for databases like MySQL databases, different types, and also non-SQL databases of different types. And for these databases, we have options of automatic clustering, If it's required, you can enable it. Then you just have some storage nodes, some memcache node if required. We also support VPS nodes, something like CentOS, Debian, or Ubuntu. So this is going to be like pure container with nothing inside particularly, and you can install your soft inside if required. And again, we have a build node on. So you just place the name for this environment and click create. That's all. And you will see also some information about possible pricing. So here I've created, before the webinar, I've created the environment, for example, Java environment with load balancer, with 2 application servers, and with SQL databases with master-slave replication automatically enabled. You see that the master-slave replication goes with proxy SQL for distribution between them. And here you see some buttons that are providing some settings, for example, and also some tools for cloning, for stopping the environment or starting it, some configuration files, statistics, and redeployment of containers. Different things are available just like within the buttons. And for example, if we are talking about settings, you can have a set of different tools here and you can work with that. Everything is available within this panel. And in addition to that, if you want to go deeper to containers, you can go to SSH panel, you can have this SSH gate, use it, or you can have web SSH that will be available right within this panel again. And you even don't need to go outside of the panel in general. So when we talk about options like that, so we also can mention that there is the monitoring and billing system there. And in addition to UI and SSH, there are options also for Open API and CLI. If we are talking about automation, we have Open API and also we have cloud scripting. This is a special system with the help of which you can automate the processes, for example, CI/CD process or creation of some environments or installation of some applications and so on and so forth. So you can integrate some tools, your custom tools if required, and do the stuff like that. So different things of this kind. In addition to that, we have a marketplace that is built with the help of this cloud scripting, because all the tools here, they are packaged for automatic installation. So you can just choose what kind of tool you want to install, click install, and you will get this tool just in a matter of minutes. You can just change the name and click install. For example, before the webinar again, not to waste time right now, I installed Wordpress Cluster Kit, and you can see it here, like Wordpress Cluster Kit, and you see what is included inside out of box. So you don't need to set up anything here. You will get like load balancers, application servers, SQL database, MariaDB in this case, this will be Galera cluster, and some storage containers, and everything will be pre-configured out of box. So again, in addition to that, there are options for multi-region and multi-cloud management. Some of our partners, and Safozi right now is also working on that, to add more and more different regions in different locations. So in case if you have partner with different locations, you can choose in what location you want to work, in what location you want to deploy your application. And sometimes if you created application in one region and you decided to migrate, you can, or you have option for migration. And you can even use live migration without downtime options. And we support multi-cloud options. So basically, if you require to run your applications across different cloud vendors, we can provide this as well, and you will have access to all those clouds for management, all those clouds within one panel, within one platform. Now let's go deeper to the automation of scaling of applications, because as I mentioned, this is one of the issues, especially when we talk about consumption of resources and wasting time of developers who needs to figure out how to set up it correctly. First of all, let's figure out what is the difference of usual traditional hosting in VMs and container-based hosting in Jelastic. When we take virtual machines in hosting, traditional hosting, usually we go with virtual machine, and then if we see that the project is growing and we need extra resources, you either going to have like horizontal scaling if it's appropriate, or you want to get some bigger machine. You cannot grow the virtual machine itself, so you need to buy a bigger virtual machine, and usually the scaling step is like twice bigger. So if you had like 2 gigabytes, you need to buy 4 gigabytes, then 8 gigabytes, and 16, and so on and so forth. So even if you need, for example, 5 gigabytes, you cannot buy like 5 specifically gigabytes. You will need to buy like 8 or something of this kind. And you're going to pay for those extra 3 gigabytes even if you're not using them. So you're going to reserve all the virtual machine, and part of these resources, they will be wasted, but you're going to be charged for them. And this kind of system usually is called like pay-as-you-go system, because you take bigger machine and you pay for this bigger machine. But in case with containers, for example, here we can see that the container itself in Jelastic can grow up and down. So you get the container, you set up some limits for this container, like maximum limits, and the system will provide the needed resources, and you will be charged only for these used resources, not for the whole container or like for the whole allocated resources. When we were watching this on the panel, you saw this kind of panel. So where you place cloudlets, this is a unit that we are using for resources, cloudlets. This is like 128 megabyte RAM and 400 megahertz CPU. So you set up that, for example, you want your application server to have resources up to 4 gigabytes. And the system is going to provide you these resources for this kind of stuff. And you can even set up like maximum limits, whatever it is needed for you, without worries that you are going to pay for all of these resources. You are going to pay only for the resources that you're really consuming at the particular time, because the charging is performed hourly, on hourly base. And for example, if you consume only 1 gigabyte, you are going to pay for 1 gigabyte only. So this is so-called pay-as-you-use model. So this is this kind of model. It helps to overcome right-sizing problem, because you don't need to waste time on thinking or tracking how much resources you will need now and you will need in a day. And I don't know, make some automation tools that are going to provide you some extra resources in some period of time when you have load spikes, or migrate your application from smaller virtual machine to bigger virtual machine that can cause downtimes even. So you don't need to do all this stuff, because in case with this pay-as-you-use pricing model, and in addition with automatic vertical scaling of containers, you're going to be charged only for the resources that you're really consuming. So for sure, for some customers, this can look less predictable, because you don't have like specific plan when you buy like virtual machine for specific money. But I can say that all people who started to use Jelastic and used it like for a week or for 1 month, they realized the benefits and they realized how much money they can cut, especially considering how much they were paying before on traditional hosting or on other cloud vendors they were using before, and how much they can cut while using a Jelastic platform on top of infrastructure of local service providers. In addition to automatic vertical scaling, we also provide horizontal scaling.
So Tatiana, if I can interrupt, so actually we know as when working in the IT, there is a huge challenge to size the server or to size the virtual machine, virtual server that we work on. With such, this problem is actually avoided from the, because you will adapt you will adapt the infrastructure and the environments to your needs. You can monitor your needs. You can increase or keep it or do it automatically to have the right sizing for your code or for your software. And with that, you can really avoid such a headache, a big challenge of the sizing, and this is actually a huge benefit.
Yeah, sure. As I mentioned, yeah, you just set up the some kind of scaling limit that you have. This can be like some specific amount, whatever you want to use. And then the system will do that for you. And for sure, you have access to monitoring tool inside, like to statistics. So you can keep an eye if you wish how much resources are consumed. Also, you have access to the billing history where you can see how much resources are charged within the platform. So all monitoring tracking tools are available as well, but you don't really need to waste too much time on that, because the system is already doing the job for you and providing the required, only the required resources. So if the load spike goes up, the resources are provided, and then the system sees that the load spike went back down. So the resources are taken back from your system, so you're not going to pay for those resources. So you just like can see that how it works automatically without need to tune it yourself, or have some, for example, extra tools added for tuning or some automation scripts or whatever, because it's already inside, it's built in inside the system. Okay, so maybe there are some questions in the chat about that. Did? No questions so far? Then we can move forward. Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned, in addition to vertical scaling, we have horizontal scaling option. I was showing it in this dashboard that while creating the environment or while editing existing environment, you can set up how many servers or how many databases you want to have within the environment. This is a kind of manual horizontal scaling, and here you can also set up like what type of scaling containers you wish. And we have like two options. One is stateless, when basically the worker node is created empty, and this is like the container image based on the master template. And stateful, in case of stateful mode, the container is created like a full clone of master node. So in case with stateless application, stateless containers, this kind of mode works faster than stateful, and because the processes can be parallelized while scaling process is going on. And stateful mode, it takes longer time, but the data is fully replicated automatically. So it's really up to you and up to your project what kind of horizontal scaling you need for your project. So you have these choices. You can just choose it from the topology wizard and go with that. In addition to that, we have automatic horizontal scaling option. So basically, you can go to the environment, to the created environment. For example, we will go to this Java and we can go to the settings of this application. And here in these settings, you have option automatic horizontal scaling. Here you just click add, and you will get such kind of panel where you just set up, for example, if the load is going like above 70, I don't know, 5, for example, 75% for at least like 15 minutes, like in the range, like the load is higher than these. Let's scale my environment to 5, up to 5 servers with 2 nodes after 2 nodes, or maybe 6 with 2 nodes per each time. And the same about removal. So for example, if the load goes below like 25% and at least for 10 minutes, then scale up to like 2 servers one by one. And again, you have option for email notification about all these activities that are happening. So you can enable it and you will get the notification when this load is going up or down and when the nodes are adding or deleted. And you can do the same stuff for all the servers that are available within the environment, and also for different kind of resources, like for CPU, memory, network, disk, and some stuff like that. So, and you just add, and this will be added to the system. And here you will also have events history, where you will see like what kind of horizontal scaling activities were performed, and for a specific time you can track it. So when we talk about horizontal scaling, we have also one useful feature like anti-affinity rules, because every time when you create environment with several servers inside, the system automatically distributes these containers to different host nodes. So for example, your hosting provider has several host nodes and like for user nodes, and every container will go to the separate host node. So in case of some trouble, if one host node is going to fail, the next one is going to work, and the containers are going to work as well. And in addition to that, we have options for like recreation of the containers that failed on new host node. So this is an issue that helps to overcome downtimes and to increase uptime and high availability, like some kind of failover protection. So in general, if we are talking about vertical and horizontal scaling, like for some projects, vertical scaling works better, for some horizontal. And in case with Jelastic, we have both of them. So you have a choice like to use both of them or just one of them. And with this kind of vertical and horizontal scaling, you can solve like right sizing problem, as we were mentioning. You can have like monitoring of all the consumption of all the resources that are provided. You can set up just like maximum limits and forget about your application for some time, go for vacation, or just relax a bit without worrying that if the load spike goes up and everything will be down. No, the system will cover those issues. And for example, horizontal scaling, this is more like solution for high availability. If you need highly available environment, highly available application, it's good to have horizontal scaling because you will have distribution of the traffic between them, and you will have some kind of failover protection and clusterization with that stuff. And talking about clusterization again, we have automated clusterization options and as well some automated application installations. As I was showing before in the dashboard, we have a marketplace with different tools pre-configured. So you can go just there and you can have those tools out of box within the click. And in addition to that, you even can build your own tool and package your own tool and add it in the marketplace as well. For example, if you have your own soft and you want to provide this soft in an easy way to your customers, just like in a matter of button click, you can build this tool with the help of cloud scripting automation tool we have inside. And you can enable installation of your software, of your product, of your service in a click with hosting on a specific cloud hosting provider that is working with Jelastic. And talking about clustered solutions, for example, a very popular WordPress cluster. If we go with traditional hosting, usually you will need to configure a lot of stuff, like configure servers, think about scaling settings, also some balancing and traffic distribution, all these clusterization of databases and storage containers or virtual machines and services. You will need to deploy the WordPress, you will need to add some CDN or Ssl certificates and so on and so forth. And after all these configurations and setup, you will need to handle that and to control updates of the software stacks and do the stuff like that. So in case with Jelastic system, we have automated way to set up this WordPress cluster, so you can get a fully highly available WordPress cluster out of box. There are different options, like there are options with Nginx servers, there are options with Lightspeed servers based, so for like more enterprise level projects. So the CDN is built in. There are options to enable Let's Encrypt Ssl certificate with automated renewal, and all the stacks are already built in. So all the database replications and load balancing and servers, everything is pre-configured with scaling. And as I mentioned that we have multi-region deployment, multi-region management. We are right now working on multi-region WordPress package. This package will be soon available, and it will be done automatically, like you choose which regions you want to go with, and the system automatically will create several cluster replicas that will be synchronized with each other. In this case, between different regions, without any manual interactions from your side. In addition to clustered WordPress, we have also some lightweight version, standalone WordPress container. So basically, this is one cluster that includes all needed tools inside in order to get WordPress up and running. It's less highly available. It's not like highly available solution as the clustered one, but it's more lightweight, so it's less expensive, I would say, in terms of resource consumption, and it's pretty good for some small and medium projects because it's running really fast and running perfectly, and it has vertical scaling inside. So if you need some extra resources, these resources will be provided automatically. And in addition, yep.
Tatiana, we can say that this is the minimum, let's say, architecture for WordPress as it must be done nowadays in the IT world. So
yeah, basically, yes. Sure, you can go, for example, not with Lightspeed, but with Nginx server, but generally, for a proper work of your WordPress, you need some SSL, you need some CDN, you need some database for sure, and some application server. But generally, yeah, this is like proven technology. We tested it. We were reviewing these kind of packages, this standalone one and also this clustered one with WordPress professionals outside of our company, just to get their third-party opinion about that. And we were tuning, during the whole year, we were tuning this package in order to improve it for the maximum, and in order to meet the requirements of real customers for running real WordPress-based projects. So yeah. In addition to WordPress, we have also database as a service option, because right now you can go to the dashboard, and while creating the environment, you can enable automatic clustering for your database. And again, you won't need to do anything manually, because you have options like of master-master replication. For databases, you have master-slave replication, and you have Galera cluster. And different types of databases with options like that. So you just choose what kind of replication you wish, and you will get these automatically. So you just click create, and the database with needed configurations will be created out of the box. So this is rather convenient, because most of the projects, they require databases, and they require data to be safe and in a reliable environment, and clusterization is the answer to that. But in order to make this cluster, you need to have some experience how to do that correctly. And in case with the Jelastic platform, you get it out of box, so you don't really need that expertise to set up this kind of stuff. And again, talking about clustered solutions, we have option for Kubernetes hosting. This is a cluster of Kubernetes that we provide. Right now, there is a big hype around Kubernetes because this technology is popular. Many people, they want to use it. Some of them, they don't really have experience or expertise how to do that, or how to run their project, or how to set up the cluster of Kubernetes in general. So we decided to simplify this process for them, and we built pre-configured Kubernetes cluster with all needed tools inside available out of box, with all the components that are required for running Kubernetes projects. So in this case, you just install this cluster from the marketplace of Jelastic, and afterwards you can start running the project inside. So, and use it as usual Kubernetes hosting option. Talking about Jelastic availability and how to get started, I can say that Jelastic is working with the network of service providers worldwide. We don't offer Jelastic on top of our own infrastructure, but we partner with local hosting service providers, and we install our platform on top of their infrastructure. So in this case, first of all, we have an opportunity to cover more locations. We are covering right now about 36 countries around the world where Jelastic is offered by local service providers. And again, local providers, they can provide you with local support, with local language, with local mentality, and local time zone language, because the platform can be also customized and can be localized to a specific language. And this is a benefit for public cloud customers. In addition to that, of course, Jelastic platform can be installed as private cloud on premise. If you have a big project and you want to use the platform internally for this project on your own hardware, your own infrastructure, Jelastic can be installed on bare metal, can be installed on any infrastructure as a service or any cloud vendor like Amazon or Azure or Google Cloud or whatever. And today, for sure, I would like to highlight one of our partners that we work with. This is Safozi. And guys from Safozi, they offer a really good opportunity for you to try the platform for free. So you're going to have like promo code that will provide you with 50 Tunisian dinar. So you will get it out of box. You just need to follow this link. Ziad, maybe send this link as well to the chat for the guys, and also the promo code to the chat, so it will be easier to copy it. And again, after the webinar, you will get the recording and you will get this presentation, so you will get this link as well. So you will just go there, you will paste the information. Just want to warn you that you will need to paste the information for the registration first, and at the last stages you will have a field for the promo code that will provide you like 50 Tunisian dinar for free. So you won't need to pay for that. So you will start with free trial. And you can play with the platform. You can see how everything is working there and decide whether this is something suitable for your project. And again, if you need some assistance with migration, for example, you have your project and you're not sure how to get started, you're not sure how to migrate it correctly from the current hosting vendor, you can get in touch with Safozi or with Jelastic, and we can arrange some assistance on that. And just to mention, if you need some extra information about Jelastic in general and about cloud hosting, next week we are going to have a Cloud Tech Days hosted by Jelastic that will be dedicated to scaling, saving, and simplifying of cloud hosting in general. So this is going to be 3 webinars during 1 week where you will get some extra information about the platform, about cloud hosting in general, what kind of problems there are problems with scaling of hosting or saving costs or simplifying. So feel free to join these webinars as well. And for sure, if you have some questions, right now I'm ready to answer all of them.
So we have some questions here regarding the Cloud Tech Days. It will be assured, but one of the leading experts worldwide. So from Europe, from South America, and it's something I highly recommend. So we have some questions here from Bashir, who's asking. I think we answered the question, but let's get back to it again. If Jelastic own its own data centers, or it will be deployed on Amazon, Azure, or Google Cloud, I think we answered the question. So
yeah, I answered. So I will repeat just in short. So no, Jelastic doesn't own its infrastructure. For example, this webinar we are hosting with Safozi guys, and Safozi is the owner of infrastructure, and Jelastic is on top of this infrastructure, and this kind of platform is offered as a bundle as a result. So if you're a public cloud customer, so if you want to run projects in the public cloud, you can just register at Safozi or any service provider who is like closer to you if required. But you can go, for example, to Safozi, register there, and you will get Jelastic on top of infrastructure of Safozi. And if you need some private cloud installation, again, this can be some virtual private cloud installation with the help of Safozi as well, Safozi infrastructure, if you wish, or this can be installation on top of any cloud like Amazon or Google or DigitalOcean.
Yeah, thanks. So what we have as a local partner, so Jelastic is deployed here in the Tunisian data center, and it's compliant to the Tunisian laws, and you can pay with local currency. So we move to the next question. If the databases, supported databases are only MongoDB, NoSQL databases are only MongoDB, or we can have other databases like Firebase or...
Yeah, there are like Couchbase and Redis out of the box. And again, as I mentioned, you can go to Docker tab And within this Docker tab, you can already choose some Docker images
you can import your own database image.
Yeah, you can go and like, I don't know, if we use this Mongo, you can find some Mongo databases. Yeah, and this like from the public Docker hubs.
Yeah.
Like you can choose, or you can go and have your own custom one. You can just like add new image and you use your registry and detail. You will add your Docker image with the database you require. But yeah, by default, we have Mongo, Couchbase, Redis. There are some others that can be activated within Safozi platform as well, because I know that there are some prepackaged bases as well, databases.
So the next question is more about the Ssl certificates. So actually, there is no you can import and bring your own Ssl certificate. So
there is option for SSL built-in SSL that is available within Jelastic, like this, and also there is option for custom SSL. So with the custom SSL, if you enable custom SSL, you just need to provide it like correctly, and you get custom SSL whenever you want to use. So this is not a problem. There are both options.
Okay, now a question from Amin. He's asking, how do you handle the underlying host upgrades, and if his application will face downtimes or shortage?
Basically for the updates are performed by Jelastic team. So the update on top of infrastructure of hosting provider is performed by Jelastic team in conjunction with developers and ops admins from the infrastructure vendor. And this is not going to lead to the downtimes, because we have a requirement for our partners to have several host nodes, and before like updating each host node, the containers are evacuated to the other one, and this evacuation doesn't lead to any downtime because it's in live mode, and it doesn't influence anyway. So when this host node is evacuated, there are no running containers there, it's updated, and then the containers are going back to that host node. So usually this process is going like with some kind of backup system and some stuff like that. So this shouldn't lead to any downtimes. And we have like updates, releases, like some bigger releases, once per quarter, usually. Sometimes we have some patches that can be put on the platform if it's required. For example, if some stacks, for example, the stacks, we update them not based on like quarterly releases or something. We see that if, for example, there is some security fix of the stack, like from the native stacks, we make this security fix available within the platform, and we make the patch for the platform to make it available at once, like instantly for customers as soon as possible.
Yeah, so the next question is also from Amir, who's asking about is whether Terraform is compatible with Jelastic.
Basically Jelastic can be integrated with any tool because we have open API, and it can be integrated with any stuff like that. So I can say that yes, but currently I don't know if we have like customers who are using both of these platforms at the moment. But I'm pretty sure that this is something compatible, because we have lots of tools integrated, like third-party tools or platforms. And we have even, for example, automated installation of Jelastic on top of DigitalOcean or Google Cloud that are available from scratch, like for automated installation. So I don't think that this might be a problem. Just a matter of trying and getting that. So if it's something that is required, if customers are asking for that and demanding that, our team can check and can see whether this is something that we should work on, like on the native integration, or if it can be solved just with the help of Open API that we provide.
Yep. Okay, and welcome, Amin. And yeah, it was a question from Amin just to know if he can integrate his deployment with his existing. That's why actually the question with the Terraform. Do you mean the Terraform represent? Amin? Yes. No. Chat. Yeah. Can I have inside infrastructure as a code? If he can have insights or configuration management, I think for that we need to speak directly. I mean, to know your needs, and then I can communicate him with the Jelastic team. They are really reactive, and we can have a lot of. They are ready to go the extra mile to provide this solution, and if you provide us, if you can talk or phone later about your needs, we can arrange that.
Well, I can add here, so for example, if you need to work with infrastructure more deeply and to have more access to infrastructure side, that might be an option for you to go not with public cloud, but maybe with virtual private cloud. And for example, Safozi can have like a separate virtual private cloud within its infrastructure and give access to the infrastructure itself. Because this kind of panel, this is the panel for developers and for public cloud customers. And we have a separate panel, like white panel we call it, that is available for hosting service providers like Safozi, where they manage the infrastructure. And if there are some virtual private clients or reselling partners who are working with this partner, they also get this access to this admin panel, but to the cut version. So they will have access only to specific region that they are using or they are handling. So this is like cut version of admin panel. And in this case, you will get full access to the infrastructure server that you are using for running this project. And if you're talking on more like high-level infrastructure, like access to the containers, access to, for example, Kubernetes, then again here within this panel and within public cloud platform, you get SSH access with full access, I would say, and you have CLI. With again all the needed tools, and you have Open API to work with those tools and integrate some tools if required.
Okay, so one last question from Bashir again: is it possible to host serverless functions? Only
well,
any other resource? Yeah.
Well, I would say that the cloud scripting stuff that happening, this is a kind of let me cloud scripting documentation. So we have a separate documentation for this cloud scripting stuff. So basically this cloud scripting stuff is something like a tool for serverless stuff. Because here you have different placeholders, different events and actions that can be configured and automated. So in this way, like this can be YAML or JSON. And different actions like that, like for container operations, like for database operations, whatever. And some basic configs also can be configured like that. And as a result, this will be like a serverless offer. But again, it depends from what side you're looking. So if you are customer, like if you're using that, you will need to tune in because you have tools to do this serverless. But if, for example, you want to make it for customers serverless for your customers, yeah, they can get it because you can automate all the stuff for them with the help of this cloud scripting option. All the actions, all the events like creating environment, scaling, installing something, everything can be automated and available like without the need for your customers and for your clients or for your team members to do it manually.
Okay, I think we are 7 minutes above the time. I don't know if you have something else to add, Tatiana.
Well, it seems to me that there were questions, so this is really good. I'm happy to answer. If you're going to have any other questions, so feel free to contact me or to contact Safozi team for that. So we will try to answer all of them. And again, if you need assistance with migration or with some customization of specific project, you can get in touch with Safozi. And they will help you with this kind of migration as well. And yeah, share the details about Jelastic with your teams, with your companies, and I hope that this presentation was useful for you.
Yeah, so I would like to thank each participant in this first webinar in the series, and thank you, Tatiana, for all the efforts before and during the webinar. And yeah,